And now to the story that we've been tracking very closely on Gravitas, the mysterious death of activist Karima Baloch. She was found dead in Canada. She reportedly faced threats from the Pakistani military. But the Toronto police says there is no foul play. Those who've tracked the plight of the Baloch people say it is murder and it fits a pattern. Baloch activists living outside Pakistan have repeatedly come under attack. A few months back, there was a similar death in Sweden. Canada insists that this is a non-criminal case. In Balochistan, there are protests and a call for justice. Fingers are pointing at Pakistan, but there are no concrete answers. Before I get you the latest, let me quickly tell you what's happened so far. Karima Baloch was a 37-year-old activist. She went missing on the 20th of December. One day later, she was found dead. Reports say her body was found floating in a lake in Toronto. There is no official confirmation on that. Karima Baloch was credited for being the pioneer of women's rights in Balochistan. She was also a vocal critic of Pakistan. In 2016, she put out a video message for India's Prime Minister Narendra Modi. She'd been living in exile in Canada for about 5 years now. She had raised concerns about Canada allowing a number of Pakistani military officials to live in the country. Karima Baloch's family says that she had been receiving death threats, and now Karima Baloch is dead under mysterious circumstances. How many Karimas will you kill is the question being asked in Quetta, the capital of Balochistan. What you see on your screen are images of a protest march. There was a protest in Karachi too, in solidarity with Karima Baloch. The trending hashtag is "State killed Karima Baloch." But Canada says there was no foul play. It sees no foul play here. WION wrote to the Toronto police on the 22nd of December inquiring about Karima's death and the investigation into it. The police told us that the case is quote-unquote currently being investigated as a non-criminal death and there are not believed to be any suspicious circumstances. Toronto police posted a statement a day later, and I'm quoting again, "The Toronto police is aware of heightened community and media interest surrounding a missing person investigation. The circumstances have been investigated and officers have determined this to be a non-criminal death and no foul play is suspected." 3 days into the incident, the police has already concluded that the death is non-criminal. Very prompt, we say. Sadly, no one's buying it. Karima Baloch's husband, for one, Hamal Haider, has asked for a further inquiry. And here's what he said. "My wife was an immensely courageous and spirited person. Her work as an internationally prominent activist speaks for itself. I believe it's our right to request the Canadian authorities to leave no stone unturned in looking into the circumstances of her death, as well as the threats she has been facing since moving to the country. We have cooperated with the police and will continue to do so." Unquote. So here are some questions. Why is the Toronto police treating this death as an open and shut case? Why is Canada's Prime Minister Justin Trudeau silent about this? Well, he's had a lot to say about a farmers' protest thousands of miles away. Trudeau was apparently seriously concerned about the rights of these protesters. Now, in his own backyard, a prominent human rights activist has been found dead. The whole world is talking about it, but Justin Trudeau remains quiet. His country's police says there is no foul play. What gives? What explains the silence? Vote bank politics again. Pakistanis are the 5th largest group of immigrants in Canada. Justin Trudeau does not want to lose their support, perhaps, by pointing fingers at their home country. Canada does not want to deep dive into a case whose trails may lead to Pakistan and Rawalpindi. Did you know that Canada had initially denied asylum to Karima Baloch? On what grounds? They said her group's involvement in quote-unquote subversion against the Pakistani government was the reason. So you know where Justin Trudeau's loyalties lie. It is barely surprising that the Toronto police is not suspecting any foul play in Karima Baloch's death. It is not surprising that Mr. Trudeau, the self-appointed torchbearer of the right to protest, has nothing to say about the protests in his own country and in Pakistan. It is time the Canadian Prime Minister got off his high horse, put an end to minority appeasement and get a grip on the extremists operating in his own country. He can start by ordering an honest probe into Karima Baloch's death. WION is now available in your country. Download the app now and get all the news on the move.